Yo, it's your boy Spank Dog, aka Puffinstein at YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Let's get it shaking. Yo, so I'm on my phone right now. Normally, you know what I'm saying? I don't go live from my phone, I go live from my laptop. But, I realize when I go outside to do the lives, I'm not familiar with the app. So when I'm out there on the fly trying to walk, shop, pay attention to your surroundings and trying to manipulate an app, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't know the app. Like I know the app when I'm on StreamYard on my laptop, but on the phone, I don't know it at all. You know what I'm saying? I went and got my energy drinks. You already know what it is. Yeah. So like I was saying, I started drinking energy drinks like about 7.5 years ago when I stopped drinking alcohol. You know, I just wanted to also try out the StreamYard, you know what I'm saying? And see how it works. I wasn't really trying to do like a live like that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I haven't drank in 7.5 years, you know. I know there's a lot of people out there that struggle with that, like really struggle. So for all the people out there that are going through it, you know what I'm saying? You can do it. You can stop. In the commercial, it don't say drink responsibly for nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason for that. That's letting people know that there's people out there that could, drink and not fall in love with it. And then there's people that just they fall in love with it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't fall in love with it. You got people that love you. You know what I'm saying? So if you falling in love with liquor, I told my man, right? I told my man, he said, I gotta chill, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what, you feel like it's gripping you up? And he was like, yeah, somewhat, he's like, I still got control though. And I told him, do you feel like you waiting online? You know what I'm saying? He was like, what you mean by that? I said when you drink, everybody like waits for a certain time to drink, where people would consider it not that deep, the weekends, or at least waiting till the nighttime, daytime drinking. People look at that as a problem. I said, do you feel like you're waiting online while you're waiting to get to the point where you can drink? And what's crazy? I don't even remember his answer, but I believe it was yes. And I remember when I used to drink. It used to feel like I was waiting online. You know that feeling you get when you're on a long line and you're like damn, like that's a long line. I'm gonna have to wait for hours. Or like when you're in the hospital waiting to be called for 2 or 3 hours. That's the feeling you get. You know what I'm saying? But to all the people out there, the only reason I bring it up, and that's not like I gotta explain why I'm talking about something, but I'm just saying like the energy drink. And like I said, so you got to be careful with caffeine too. You can't drink caffeine all day. You know what I'm saying? But in the morning, I'll drink it like a coffee, and then maybe one throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? Maybe or I'll share one with my wife. She drinks a little bit. But anything could become too much. You know what I'm saying? Even regular food, you could overdose on water. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you drink a whole gallon of water and you could drown yourself literally, without going in water. So but anyway, I wanted to check out the StreamYard, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell people some stuff too, like when you come on live, you can't really care about what anybody thinks. You're gonna have 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old kids coming through. You're gonna have people that just like they don't know your style like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know the vibe. They don't come from where you come from. So they're not gonna click. It's not gonna click with them. And then there's gonna be open-minded people that it doesn't matter where you come from. You get what I'm saying? And they're gonna be on some like I'm gonna check out what he's doing, whether he talks one way or another. You know, it's got to be about ethics, people. It's crazy. Like the most loved man is the most ethical man. And I'm not doing it for that reason. I don't do it because I want to be the most loved man. I do it because it's right. Whatever happened to just being ethical, you know what I'm saying? Like, right and wrong. You know, me and my brother are a lot alike, because we're brothers, you know what I'm saying? But, it's about right and wrong, you know what I'm saying? We all gotta try to do better. There's a lot of stuff going on, man, in this world. We're gonna gear towards sports. I wanted to talk about the Knicks because, I must have used one or two many logos or Knicks, brands or whatever in the background. And the crazy thing is that YouTube didn't have an issue with it. But because it was transformative, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't rely on anything to it's not like the logo spoke for me, you know what I'm saying? But I realized when I checked out the video that they had dubbed it on Facebook and they let it rock on YouTube. So at least I'm glad it stood up on YouTube. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop it up and I'm gonna throw it back up, semi-edited. I'm not trying to do a long edit, you know what I'm saying? The way it was normally, I'm not gonna edit it. There ain't gonna be no cuts, no effects, no transitions, none of that. I'm gonna just throw it up. What I did do is take out the Knicks logos and I put them with graffiti logos and just regular shit. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that would prompt a copyright infringement. You know, you can't. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you're gonna do this, you can't be scared, man. You just come up here and do your thing, man. Don't think about what nobody writes, what nobody. Matter of fact, you gotta care what some people write. Let me put the comments on real quick. We're gonna talk about the Knicks in a second too. You know, show comments. All right, let me see. Remember, this is about learning StreamYard too on my phone. You know what I'm saying? Salute to all the YouTubers out there, man, trying to do their thing, man. There's a lot of haters out there that be hoping people don't do well. You know, there's always that voice in your head telling you whether to do the right thing or the wrong thing, man. I'm here telling you right now. You know what I'm saying? Listen to that voice that's telling you the right thing, man. I'm sort of like a big deal in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? People don't know my style, so I don't expect people to just like stop instantly and just, but when you put a lot of time and effort into stuff, easily you could get discouraged if stuff don't go your way. And not everything's gonna go your way quick. You know what I'm saying? The things that I do them well. I do them beyond well. I do them to a higher standard than average. Everything. Anything that I tackle for a certain amount of time, whether it's basketball, whether it's rapping, whether it's on beat making, after doing it for a certain amount of time, you get better. You know what I'm saying? So if you're out there doing YouTube, as saturated as it is, if you really that nice, nothing's gonna stop you. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. You know, I listen, there's so many things going on in my life, and I know other people go through the same thing, but I could just let things get to me and not try, you know what I'm saying? But I'm here trying, you know what I'm saying? I don't At the end of it all, I'm not worried about nobody. I'm not worried about what anybody thinks, and people know that I'm a real person to a high degree. That's probably the thing I'm nicest at. I'm nice and ball, I'm nice at rhyming. But when it comes to being an individual and ethics and not letting people down, I did crappy shit when I was a kid. That's crazy, right? Crappy shit. I did crazy stuff when I was young. I wish I could take it back. You know what I'm saying? You know, um, you know, rest in peace, Plex. I helped Plex I helped Plex, you know, while he was hit. He got hit before they, rest in peace, Plex, before he passed. He didn't pass off for the first time, that he got into a really bad situation. You know what I'm saying? And I had Plex by his arms. I was checking his shirt, you know. That's the burn hole that the bullet caused. There was no blood. I was right in front of him. He said my name while he was hit, because I was telling him, yo, Plex, you good. You know what I'm saying? You must have dropped the front of the cigarette on your shirt, and he told me, yo, go call an ambulance. And I said, nah, you good. I'm telling you, you're not, and I don't know why I didn't believe him. This is when I'm 15 years old, 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the things I stay away from when I do the channel is talking about like when I was young and the stuff I've been through, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't wanna ride that wave, but that don't mean that I won't ever talk about it. You know what I'm saying? People are crazy, you know. Sometimes but then you can't speculate. You never know what people are thinking. Like when I've been posting a couple of rest in pieces recently, and I do it because the people you see me post, I love them. And we were tight, just because I don't come from the same blocks as those individuals don't mean I didn't love them. Like Corey, like Plex, like oh man, so many are gone now. You know what I'm saying? Time flies, man. For all you young people out there, um, don't let it pass you by. Enjoy your life. Go to school. Don't don't be out there thinking. I was born in a certain area. You get what I'm saying? So like, it wasn't like I chose to be fascinated by the streets. The streets swept me up. You know what I'm saying? My pops was on it like that too. So, you know, but yeah, man. When I told Plex the second time, I said, nah, you good. He said just like this exact words. Big Bushwick shit, man. Um, um, Shout out to Bushwick, Brooklyn. You know, we used to hang out on an avenue called Cypress Avenue. And when the weekends would come, everybody would flood to Madison and Cypress. And I'm talking about not just Ridgewood, because it's located right on the borderline of Brooklyn, Queens. It's located literally on the borderline of Ridgewood, Bushwick. And back then it was shaking. Like this is like the 90s when in NYC the that people who passed per year rate was up in 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Like it was yeah, it was bad. When I was coming up, when I jumped off the porch, it was lit. New York City was lit. And I was running through the worst neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the dudes from Bushwick and dudes from Ridgewood would come up to the pool room, and next thing you know, you'd have 70, 80, 90 people. Some of them don't like each other. There's a story behind the story, I'm telling you, but I'm gonna leave that out the equation. I'm not somebody that wants to ride that wave. But like I said, in that moment, I got my hands on Plex, and I'm going, yo, you good? And I'm checking his shirt and stuff, and then he finally screams, yo, Spank, go call a fucking ambulance, or go call an ambulance, one or the other. He screams it. He goes, I've been shot, you know? And that's when I took off. There wasn't nothing left to say. After what happened after that, there was other people surrounding him. So there's other people that know this story, you know what I'm saying? But by this time, I'm taking off to the payphone, you know what I'm saying, to call the ambulance, and thank God he lived that day, and he ended up passing on another day. And I'm not really gonna get into that story because I've heard about what happened with him and the person that took his life, but I don't know for sure if it's accurate or not. So I'm not. The other story, I'm there. I'm right in front of him. He's speaking to me. So I could tell that story. That's my story to tell. You know what I'm saying? But I've never even really went here. You know what I'm saying? This is like the first time I ever jumped on YouTube and really like told, one of them tales that I have. You know what I'm saying? Some of them ain't meant to be told. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really out there like that, not, you don't think about it. You know what I'm saying? My pops passed away. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't have nowhere to go. He had took out loans on the buildings. Next thing you know, they taking the buildings and I'm out there all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, um, yeah, he made it, you know. I remember telling Band 3, may he rest in peace, that they had, hit Plex, and he was like, he got mad, you know. But we were young, you know what I'm saying? People don't know that I wasn't just on Ralph Avenue in Bedford-Stuyvesant and then straight to Ridgewood. There was Stockholm in between, you get me? So like, you know, I went to Stockholm between Irving and Wyckoff so much, right where Wyckoff Hospital is, right where Marinello's is, the famous delicatessen Marinello's. I was on Stockholm when the video game arcade was next door to Marinello's. You know what I'm saying? I grew up playing Skelly on that block, playing stick ball, playing stoop ball, wiffle ball. They used to ask me if they could take me into the middle of the street. They would ask my moms and pops. They would take me to Star Park, not Maria Hernandez Park, the other Star Park on the Dome. You know, but yeah, man, rest in peace, Plex, man. They saved his life. You know, and I got to be his friend for a little long. More stories, man. I used to be with Plex. You know what I'm saying? Like his cousin had a video store right by my house. He had a cousin named Charlie. So Charlie had the video store right there on Gates and Fairview. So I I became real cool with Plex's cousin Charlie. So rest in peace, Benjamin Ayala. You know what I'm saying? I hope Bobby sees this. You know what I'm saying? He got a cousin named Bobby. But anyway, Charlie had the video store. So one day I told Charlie, I'm like, yo, you mind if you need help or something like that? And I actually worked in the video store, in Plex's cousin's video store for like a year, for like 2 years, you know. And I'll leave it at that, man. We're gonna get into the Knicks, man. You don't get much of that from me. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding a wave of not and listen, for anybody out there talking about what happened when they grew up or whatever, ain't nothing wrong with that. I just choose not to do it. You know what I'm saying? For now, even you never know what'll happen in the future. Maybe I will tell some of my tales, but for now, we doing something different. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because I just jumped on StreamYard to see how it looks when you do it through the phone. But I'm here. We rocking out, and we're gonna rock out for a little second. You know, it's your boy Spank Dog, aka Puffinstein, at YouTube and at Facebook. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow. Facebook, I got monetized. I just realized I'm monetized on Facebook. Like I'm getting money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me do a live so I could, like get it shaking a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I prepare the notes for the live and everything. This was yesterday. I created that ill layout. You seen that ill layout I did? If you get a chance, if you look at the live, it's on YouTube, but it's not on Facebook no more. I ain't trying to get them angry the minute they start giving me bread, and then I'm gonna throw up some stuff that I catch a copyright infringement over. You get what I'm saying? So it said this video violates our terms or whatever, and I took it down. But it's on Facebook. It's on YouTube. If you look at YouTube, the layout is proper. I got notes ready. I made sure that if I was gonna talk to y'all about the Knicks, that I had stuff prepared in case I forget. So I'm doing my thing. I stay on there 2 hours talking about the Knicks. And I wanted it to go for both platforms. Yeah, it's cool that it rocked on YouTube, but since I just got monetized with Facebook, I was looking forward to it being on Facebook, and it didn't stay. You know, So, but I didn't let it discourage me. I'm up here right now. I don't need no face. I don't need no Knicks logo to talk about the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? I don't need anything from any corporation, that I don't, that I'm not privy to. You get what I'm saying? For whatever reason, but if they don't want me using it, then I don't got to use it. I'm here as Spank. This is what I bring. You know what I'm saying? Spank Dog, aka Puffinstein. They've been calling me Spanky since I was 5 years old, and it was because of the Little Rascals. And it just stuck. And I'm gonna be honest with you, as a person, I'd rather be called Spank than my real name, and that's Robert. It's okay because it's on my Facebook. I'm not trying to hide from nobody on this planet anyway, you know. So, but anyway, let me see something. I want to see. This was part of the reason I went live. Hold on a second. Yeah, man, got that exercise, man. Been not getting exercise for a little too much, and it's time to make it go down with the exercise. Big shout out to everybody out there, man. Everybody, the whole globe, not just America, not just NYC. You know, can't believe Wemby was acting like such I don't want to name call, but you get what I mean. He surprised me. I didn't. Every time I seen Wemby, I never seen him get angry. So like I thought Wemby was that he didn't have it in him to do some nasty stuff. You know what I mean? But he does. But like I said, too, I'm 50 years old, man. Wemby's 22 years old. I got 28 more years on him when it comes to learning. You know what I'm saying? So like I can't be mad at Wembenyama like that. You know what I'm saying? He could change or he could not. You get what I'm saying? People would say it's okay to be like that over sports, but nah, it's not okay to be like that over sports. Let's go Yankees. You already know. The bad thing about going live with your phone is it's not hands free. I definitely prefer going live with my laptop, but like I said, I wanted to find out how to use StreamYard for when I'm outside. Trying to get the comments up. They said there's a way to invite people too. Let me see something. Let me take this off. I got a little holder holding my phone. All right. See, that's why it wasn't moving. I had something stabilizing it. Yo, the Knicks are crazy, bro. The Knicks are insane. Give me 1 second, yo. I gotta figure this out. That's why, like, sometimes I come up here prep, but that's not what this is. This is me trying to figure out this app while I'm live. Private chat destinations. Let me see. What's that? What's that? What's that right there? All right, let me see something. See, that's what I mean. Oh, see what I mean? That's what I didn't want to happen. That was the logo I'm talking about. Let me take that off. You seen that? That's crazy. I was just telling you about the Knicks layout. It's fire too. You know what I'm saying? It only came on for a second. I could clip that if I got to. But yo, it's fire. The layout is fire. I don't believe they got mad over that. They said that FB was gonna be tightening up on their restrictions or whatever regarding like copyright infringement and stuff. It is what it is. I'm not mad. It says politics and sports. It's not good. Excuse me. Well, anyway, let me leave that alone. I think that's for something else. All right, here we go. Here goes some options. That's what I'm talking about. Rounded corners. Oh, why does it do that? Every time I go to change like the appearance or the aspect ratio, it brings up the Knicks layout. All right, let me see what else I could do. Damn, it seems like every time I try to change up the way it looks, you know. Let me see if I could do that. All right, I changed the way the Puffinstein live looked. I like the way it looks better like that. Let me see something. New comments will appear here. All right, cool. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Let me see something. There's got to be a way for me to make this screen bigger. More. All right. Okay. Let me see something. I could switch it around real quick. There goes the other logo. It's supposed to have appeared already. There it goes. All right. Let me see. Intro video, outro video, loop. Oh, all right. Here we go. All right. Let's see what we do now. All right, cause let's see. I got some decent layouts. I'm hoping it'll. Why doesn't it apply it? I don't understand that. Text size, show display names, themes, theme brand color presets. They love me. I got gonged. All right. Let me see. Let me stop playing. Background music. No track selected. Y'all want to hear one of my beats? If that's a yes, okay. Let me see if I can select a track. Oh, I can actually. All right, yo. You might have heard this before if you mess with my channel. If not, I'm gonna show you something that I made that's 100% everything played by me, no samples. All right, I call it One Man Band. It's one of the first beats that I made when I owned the Phantom XA workstation, music workstation. All right, and let me see. I want to make sure not to hit the wrong thing. Here we go. Can't get a copyright infringement for that because it's mine. Put it back to the beginning. Tell me what you think in the comments. I love this. All original, no samples. Played by yours truly. Watch when the violins come in. The violins drop in a second. You might infringe me on that YouTube. Well, not YouTube, it was Facebook. But either one, that's mine. You can't copyright infringe me on that one. All right, I'm gonna show you guys one more beat. This is from my man, but me and my man is brothers. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't gonna care if I show you one of his jump offs. This is my man, Grade A. He made this a while back. Big shout out to Grade A Rivera. That's fire. Stomping. All right, cool. Yeah, man, we talented. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this for a long time, man. Just because you don't get signed don't mean you ain't talented. They looking for certain stuff. You know how many MCs out there are dumb nice that don't get no recognition, and they deserve to be, you know what I'm saying, like super spitters. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. You can't keep things the same way forever. That's just a fact. Times change. You know, and what's crazy is boom bap has stood the test of time, like the super test of time. It still rocks today. They use boom bap drums in every music. So don't act like that sort of hip hop has went away or nothing like that. Whenever you want to showcase the best rhymes, come on, man. You know what you're gonna want to hear. I don't There's other beats that are good, but to be honest with you, I still always want to hear that stuff from the essence, and but the more complex the better. I ain't hating there's new drums and new sounds, and and I don't resist liking stuff. There's dudes out there that would actually like something and say they don't like it just because it doesn't match their era. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like that. If the young boys come out with a new sound and I hear it and I'm like, man, that's hot. It don't matter what generation it's from. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, those are two beats. The first one was by me. The second one is by my man Grade A. You know, and see something else. I don't know why it won't bring up the Let me see something. I don't think they work on the phone. I'm trying the layouts, the backgrounds, but they're not working. All right, cool. You know what? Let me check out some of the other stuff real quick. I don't know why it doesn't change the background for me. Size of font. All right, so but anyway, let me see something. Yo, Jalen Brunson is the king of New York right now. They should call him Frank White, you know. And Carl Anthony Towns, man, don't forget to shout out Carl Anthony Towns. You know, he averaged like 18 and 12 over the course of the 5 games. I think he shot 49%. I'm gonna get the stats up right now. You know, let's see. All right. Which one is it? Yeah, I don't know if I mean I don't think Josh Hart wants to roll up to the White House, but I don't think Carl Anthony Towns wants to. I mean, I think he might have maybe wanted to roll up to the White House, but I don't, I don't think he's feeling the person in leadership at the moment. You know, Jose Alvarado, man, big shout out to Jose Alvarado, man. They signed him, as a like hoping he would be a piece. You know what I mean? And he was a piece. You get what I mean? He was that role player that played perfectly. He was part of the 29-point comeback. Like, big shout out to Jose Alvarado. Big shout out to OG Ananobi and the tipping. Oh man, that tipping goes down in history, in NBA history, as one of the greatest final shots ever, ever, ever. You know, the video too. I wanted to get something up there that they wouldn't, because like I said, if I hit the button, you guys, if you go through the video, you'll see the layout, or if you go to the other video, and I think that's what the problem was that they seen the logo and they seen the layout, and it had it said Knicks, it said Madison Square Garden, it had all the logos, it had everything that you probably shouldn't have, but I didn't think nothing of it because it was a background. It's not like I was covering a video that was copywritten. I just had a real nice layout, and it had, I guess, too much, and only for one platform, for FB, not for YouTube. So, that goes to show you how on the fence it was, because one platform said it was okay and the other platform said it wasn't, you know. Yo, cat's nice. You gotta remember too, with cat, they gotta spread the floor out to guard him. You can't leave cat alone at the 3-point line. So you got a big man that stretches the floor. You get what I'm saying? And that's a big part of why the Knicks won. That's why, look, let me tell you something. You seen Jalen Brunson running around that floor like that? That has a lot to do with them having the guard Carl Anthony Towns at the 3-point line, because he has space to run around, and oh man, is there a better person than Jalen Brunson than having a ball on the string? Like, he did not lose the ball. I seen him run around the court so much, and that the ball was just stuck to him. He didn't lose it. I want to see how many turnovers he had per game. How many turnovers per game did Jalen Brunson have in the finals 2026? Oh wow, he did. But I'm gonna tell you something. Fine, he had 3.8 turnovers per game, but he had the ball all the time. He always had the ball. 3.8 for all those minutes, every game, scoring all those points. Let me see the assists. That matters. How many assists per game did Jalen Brunson average during the finals 2026? Jalen, oh, he averaged 5 assists. That's what's up. How many points per game did Jalen Brunson average in the finals 2026? Oh man, that's insane. Jalen Brunson averaged 33 points per game. You could say 32.6 points per game and almost 5 assists per game. He could have had, I mean, it's hard to have 32 points per game in winning efforts and still have the assists on, all the way up, especially when it's such a cohesive team. But listen, man, we won it, man. Nothing matters, but let me just tell you this. Jalen Brunson, a 6'1" man in the land of giants, right? Averaged 32.6 points per game in the finals. To be only like the third man that size, or fourth or fifth or sixth man that size, to lead a team as the first option to an NBA championship, let alone a team that was on a 53-year drought. It's crazy. Listen, man, I was here testing my phone. I wanted to shout y'all out. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Knicks and get up a video that they wouldn't consider, utilizing somebody else's stuff. So it's your boy Spank Dog. I got some stuff coming. It should be dropping today. I got some edited commentaries coming your way. So check later on. I should have dropped the commentaries. I should have like 3 videos up by today or tomorrow, but within the next like 48 hours, there should be 2 edited commentaries, 3 edited commentaries about to be up. I got the one that I'm working on now is long. That's why it took a second for me to drop another video. But yeah, by tonight, there should be something up. It's your boy Spank Dog. I'm out of here. Much love. Peace.